Jennifer from Belladonna's Botanicals, and this is another installment of our Spiritual Awakening series. And this one, we're going to be talking about spiritual awakening sucks. I know, right? Um, so I was thinking about this because I'm constantly, as I've progressed through this, in this conundrum of being like, oh my fucking God, was everything this stupid all along? Like, what the literal, you know? Or I'm just like, how are people not seeing this? Like, especially with like human ego driven things. I'm like, how like I listen to people talk, I'm like, how are you not hearing yourselves? How are you not getting it? Especially being that we're in the dreaded United States election year, which is the year you lose more and more of your friends or when you realize people become former friends really fast for various reasons. But um, yeah, I don't really talk about politics a lot. For me, it's a boundary thing. I really hate when people are like, "Oh, well, you're so privileged because you can just opt out of time." I'm like, "Go fuck," you know. I chose to opt out because it's a boundary. I am practicing radical self love and acceptance, and if you don't like that, you can. But it's a boundary of mine. Like, for instance, this video is probably gonna be, like, all over the place and very anecdotal, so, like, for instance, back in the day, I was involved, um well, I'm just giving you the instance of having run a more socio-politically based Facebook group for, an organization, for, like, a volunteer activist organization. Um, the reason I refrain from political stuff, is I just don't have the time to be a hall monitor, to break up constant fights of people fighting, of battling each other. Nor do I want to leave a stream of Istan Obic, um, back and forth attached to, videos or whatever. So I just delete stuff, to be honest. Like, I don't care. It's not to say I don't vote or I don't, I'm ill-informed or uninformed. I vote. I hold my nose and vote like most actual leftists do. Um, so yeah. But yeah, a lot of this I just I'm like, what like really? Like it becomes so glaringly obvious. And this is the thing I struggle with the most on the spiritual awakening side of things is like I can recognize in myself when I'm doing something that is purely human ego driven BS. Like me carrying a Christian Louboutin handbag is ego driven BS, you know. I can, suss that out pretty easily and categorize it as such. When I see people acting purely from human ego and but are so oblivious to it, or worse, completely in denial of it, that it's just kind of like if we realize how much of this literally just doesn't matter and how much divisiveness comes down from doing nothing but like talking about politics. It comes from the politicians, it comes from all news media, doesn't matter what side you're aligned with, whether it's conservative, tinfoil hat, liberal, whatever. Um, yeah, it's not meant to bring things together. Like, one of the things I was like, "Is there, like, a news source that just tells me factually what happens?" I don't give a shit about anyone's opinions or talking head pundits or the he said, she said of it all. I just wanna know, here's a thing that happened. Here are the factual accounts of said thing that happened. Oh, look, a picture or video of said thing that happened. Here, now you know about said thing that happened. That's all I want. But apparently, I'm weird. So it's just like I see things so differently now across the board, and it's like I gotta say, it's like really alienating at times. Like, and I'm like, God damn brain, like, can't you just like be like everyone else and, whatnot. And it's just like, I see things differently, and like there's stuff that I'll see people posting about and talking about, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Now, granted, there are some things that I will never get or just don't get because I got the neurospicy brain stuff going on, so I'm missing some critical function human files. Um, I try my best, but sometimes there's just a gap of here's a thing that makes sense to everyone else, and for me, I'm like, what is this? It's like rocket science and neurosurgery all in one thing, but it's something really simple that I should just be able to get, and I don't. But it's frustrating. And I'm making this video solely because I know there are other people out here that are probably dealing with the exact same thing. It is just so frustrating to just like there's times where I'm like, I just don't even want to talk to people I know about things. Like there's so few people I can talk to that are on the same wavelength and that get what I'm saying and aren't immediately, clutching the pearls and running around butt hurt trying to cancel me because I had an independent thought or I looked at all the different perspectives on a subject matter because apparently that's a bad thing. No devil advocate for you because that's offensive. We don't want to look at, what that says to me is we don't want to look at alternative opinions. Here is the opinion on this. You don't question it. You just follow it. But no, we don't question. We follow. This is the party line. This is the thing no, you don't question. No, you don't give an alternate perspective. Yeah, okay, no, 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 this is the thing. But like you do realize that more than one thing can be true about a given situation, and those things can be conflicting as fuck. It doesn't make you hateful or rude or inconsiderate or privileged to question things. I'm sorry. I was taught to question things, and I will never stop questioning things. If that offends you, bye-bye. I'm not going to be a person for you. Because I can look at something and be like, "Okay, well, I can see that point of view, and they can be very extreme point of views, but it's sort of like if you're telling me I can't think for myself and I can't question things and I have to believe what you said, that to me kind of comes into that sort of the monotheistic religion stuff of to do as I say, not as I do, or because I said so of it all. That mentality is what I butted heads with because I went to Catholic school. And that was me butting heads with like the clergy, the church, other students, nuns, literally anyone who came within my path because I needed to know why. So you're telling me that murder is a mortal sin, but so wars are so are all those soldiers just signing up because they're killing people, and killing people is murder, kind of. So are all those soldiers going to hell then? Or you do want to answer this for me? Well, and it's people just talk around it or be like, talk down to me like, how dare you ask such a question? I'm like, because I want a legitimate answer to it, not a because I said so. And I don't get it. It's one of those things I don't get it. Like I'm sure there are people that use the devil's advocate thing to be assholes about stuff. Anyone can use anything as a shield or as an excuse or rationalization for bad behavior. I don't understand why questioning things, seeking alternative perspectives, just to have a greater understanding of it. Why is that a bad thing? Because what I've been seeing in the memes is, the friends posting on Facebook about it of like, oh, basically equating, devil's advocates to being like abusive a-holes and stuff like that. I'm like, I was taught to learn Learn by questioning things, learning multiple perspectives of analysis. To look at I have a degree in art history. So in order to look at a piece of art, I want to understand as much as I can about the cultural context of what that art of when that art was produced. I want to understand what that artist was trying to convey and what other people think of it, because sometimes meanings change um over time, and or it may not always be not relevant, what's the word obvious, it may not always be obvious. So in order to get to discern that meaning, to understand that, I have to ask questions, I have to do research, and sometimes I have to look at the completely I'm like, "Okay, so here's all the research from everyone who loves this thing. Let's look at the what the people who hate this thing are saying too, just to get the perspective on it." But no, we don't do that anymore because we don't question. We just go, "Here, this is the thing you believe. Don't question it. Don't have conversations about it. You just believe this thing." And it comes from, I mean, a lot of times it has good intentions behind it, but you know what they say about that road to hell? It's paved with good intentions. So you're not going to solve fascism with more fascism. Um, and you know, life, everyone is on a different page for starters. But life is a learning experience. And the way I see people talking to each other, and I can't even fathom how, and I know I have been guilty of this. I probably still am. It's something I'm working on. But it's like, and I'll add the caveat here is that I may be more hyper aware of it since I moved out of Philadelphia. Philadelphia, for those who aren't aware, Philadelphia is always voted the rudest city in the country. Also with the rudest children in the country. So all Philadelphians are bilingual in that the primary language is rudeness and the secondary language is sarcasm. Good luck figuring out the difference. I can usually tell when people are being sarcastic, but it's like for me, it was it's been a thing. Like I just generally expect that if I'm going to interact with someone, someone is going to be rude to me. And maybe I'm reading things as, especially if they're coming from people I know from Philadelphia, or I'm just like, so have you ever changed your mind on something when someone talked down to you and treated you like you were morally bankrupt or the dumbest person alive? Would you want to learn from that person? Would you give a shit about their views? You probably wouldn't. You'd probably be like, wow, you could just go all the way off and trying to curse less. It's been 50-50. But, think about it though. When have you changed your mind on something when someone has been screaming in your face and calling you stupid and treating you like, you are just so morally bankrupt? When have you give me an example of when that's worked, when that strategy has worked. When shaming someone into thinking the way you do or what you see, when has that worked? I'll wait, because that shit don't work on me. Um I am perfectly capable of having deeply profound and meaningful conversations about very difficult subjects with people, provided we are able to have a conversation, treat each other respectfully, and not, you know, immediately devolve into name calling and all the stuff. Talking down to each other, talking at each other, and at the end of the day, you've accomplished nothing. I think if we took the time to understand the people whose perspectives are different than ours, that that would be a great thing. Maybe we would be a little less divisive and not going to war over every perceived slight. That most of the time is just, I don't know. But yeah, this is where I'm at. Every day, I'm annoyed. I hate being online, and like, I'm just like, how? Can I go back? Can I go back and just be, like, a little more head in the sand, not awakened, not seeing all this stuff? Because it's a bummer. It's really annoying. I just wanna be like, "Oh, la, la, la." But now I'm like, "Ugh, wait, how am I the only one seeing this? Why am I seeing such a different thing than everyone else?" And I think that's some of it. I mean, I've already got the base neurospiciness towards it for that, so I don't know what to tell you. You're not alone if you're experiencing this in your awakening journey, because it ebbs and flows. It's like the more you understand, the less you understand, and then you find some way to kind of manage to realize how much does not matter at all. Like, oh my god, like I realized like at this point, like I was in a mood about it last week where I'm like, I feel like every time I open up my mouth to say something, especially like I'm talking about like on my personal stuff on social media. It's why I don't accept a lot of friend requests. I'm pretty sure if I comment on something or post something that I am pissing someone off. And I'm not intending to piss people off. I mean, believe me, when I'm intending to, you'll know. So I'll probably be shouty about it. Like, I'll give you an example. I have 0 fucks to give about offending people, with my feelings on AI generated garbage. It's not art, it's barely content, it's garbage. I don't care. And it's a hill I'm willing to die on. So, I know some of that is human ego for me, but I also can see the dangers that other people aren't looking at. There was just a recent one I saw this a couple days ago. It was someone, it was on futurism.com, I think was the website, but it's like this person had, I guess they had a blog or something or a website where it was just all like tips on how to use like Microsoft Excel and stuff like that. And what these AI tech bros did was they, someone basically, I think they called it an SEO heist, and basically, fed all the stuff into the AI machine, regurgitated all of his content into another website to basically steal like the SEO of it. And it was, and like the guy was just like, I think there's a lawsuit, which good. More people need to be sued into oblivion at this point. Um, but I wanna see some tech bros cry. I could probably make that happen, but I digress. I forget what I was saying before that. So about that guy, so, basically, this company came along, stole all his content, regurgitated it out so poorly, and it's ranking better than his own content on his website. But he's not reaping any reward from this and stuff like that. Like, can you imagine having your life's work stolen like that? But hey, it's all fun. Sure. Let's see what the dark web is doing with all those pictures of those fun pictures of your kids that you uploaded. I'm sure nothing untoward is happening there. I'm sure your AI generated profile picture does not mean that you now have a lucrative career in dog porn. Um, do you know? Do you go on the dark web to know what they're doing with your stuff? Because I gotta tell you, what's happening on the mainstream with with AI. Just ask yourself, what is the dark web doing with this? I'll wait. Or maybe you don't care that your kids are now starring in child things that you wouldn't want them to. Um, because hey, AI is fun and it's here to stay and it's super cool and you just don't want to. You're a luddite who doesn't want to adjust to technology. Gen X salute. Mm. But anyways, so just to kind of wrap up here, this is some of the videos in the series are just going to be on a particular topic, just assuring you that you're not alone, because that is sometimes a message we all need to hear, because there's just those moments, like I've been struggling with this one a lot, where I'm just like, everything is so stupid. I don't understand how people don't see how freaking stupid everything is, or just how little it matters, and just how messed up things are. And all of the stuff that you can see, this is just 100% human ego BS. You're not acknowledging that it's just human ego BS, but oh, it's human ego BS. Or let's take this, let's vilify this side and then do the exact same things, but in the cause of good, because our thing is right and their thing's bad. And we have to, I'm like, you're both doing the exact same thing. Stop. And maybe things will be better. But I digress, and am a whole host of unpopular opinions. And the sad thing is, my primary ethos on life, as I've mentioned before so very many times, live and let live, and don't be a dick about it. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get to control what I think. My brain is mine. Mine. I love to learn things. I love to have meaningful discourse, even if it's on something I disagree about. I love to learn things. And yeah, there's a few more topics on this. I have to figure out how to talk about them without getting myself canceled, because the big one on there is the harsh realization that no one owes you anything. They don't. And we all walk around thinking we're owed something. And I will leave that there, because that's a big topic. Um yeah. So, stay tuned for more episodes of the Spiritual Awakening series, in which your humble host tries to figure out what the is going on. And it's just a whole ass thing. Ass thing. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, smash the notification bell, follow us on social media, and sign up for our e-newsletter so you know what we're going on, because guess what, guys? Algorithms suck. Bye.